Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patera with you today. Want to talk to you about chickens. Not just any chicken, but we're going to talk about something that a lot of you have asked me about. And if I'm going to bring in the perspective, not only of myself, but I'm going to bring in the ultimate, which is Miss Homestead Lady, okay? We're going to talk about sustainability. We're going to talk about this in a would you starve perspective. We're going to talk about this from what she and her husband, who I always nickname Cowboy, their ultimate advice. We're up here today. We're here spending some time, and we're going to talk about this. We've just finished up having a little bit of dinner, and I made sure to go over this with them. So, because this is what I'm going to be doing. A lot of you ask, do I have meat chickens? And I do not have meat chickens because I go from the standpoint of all the roosters that I have are really good in terms of self-sustainability for us right now. We have bounced around the different ideas on videos about what are good chickens for self-sustainability. We've talked about the barred rocks, we've talked about the buff Orpington, we've talked about, of course, the black Australorp. If you talk to these folks, they might mention a chicken that you have never considered. They might mention a chicken that maybe you've never even seen. It is going to be your white rock. If you look under Plymouth rocks, barred rocks, these are going to be your white Plymouth rocks or your white rocks. In fact, I have not been around anyone else that raises these chickens, okay? And you need to understand this is coming from a more old school perspective. If I'm going to consider being self-sustainable, I'm not asking the new generation. I'm asking the tried and true, and this is where this is coming from. Now, there are other fantastic breeds that can really do a good job here, okay? But we're going to go with what they point blank say. If you see, look behind me, and we've got some footage. So we're going to make this very short and sweet. We have videos that talk about would you starve? Okay, we talk about videos also that talk about sustainability. A lot of times when you look at videos or read things with the whole terminology of what is sustainability, that applies to what works for today. You know, what is going on today. If you get into a bad scenario where you are only trying to thrive off of what you can produce, you better make sure whatever you've got can reproduce. If I'm going to spend my time getting meat chickens, it's going to be those that can reproduce themselves. Now, like I said, I have a video about sustainability and chickens that I like. That is working for today, and that is working for egg production in a lot of ways. And broodiness is very important to me, but we're going with meat. I think you need to think about this breed. This is the route that I am going, and going very quickly. I am not going to go buy crossed breeds of chickens. I don't have any problem with that, guys. And again, in today's terminology, and you know, to stock your freezer and to can today, that works. If you're looking at a scenario where you don't have access to that, you better have something that's going to make that for you. Now, you can eat any chicken. Some are going to be better than others. Lots are going to make meat. Others are not. We're not going to go into this whole thing. The reason we're going to talk about the white rocks is because not only are they excellent in terms of meat production, but they lay eggs like crazy. We're going to show you their eggs. If you just Google it, Google's great. Since we have Google, let's use it. I am seeing firsthand that these make excellent dress birds. You can look back here and see how thick these girls are, and they are used for crossbreeding for a lot of you guys out there when you go and buy your crosses. Coming halfway from that right there. Okay, not only that, they make beautiful eggs, and they produce a lot of eggs. They're really high on meat production and on egg production, so you have the best of both worlds with with being a dual purpose bird. Not only that, I'm seeing firsthand, I know from firsthand by talking to Miss Homestead Lady often, you know, she's got another broody. It's not just the buff Orpingtons over here that are being broody for her and producing babies for her. It is also these beautiful white rocks. So I want to show you these birds because a lot of folks are like, what is that? Because you only think of the barred rocks. If you look up the history, this bird's been around for quite some time, the late 1800s. They get very large. The hens get up to like 7 pounds. The roosters get up to 9 pounds. And we were just talking about it, and they said, you know, this has been raised in our family for generations. You know, my grandmother did this. This is what us, you know, what we did in the mountains. This is what we did because we got great eggs. We got great meat, and when we had that rooster, we respected that rooster, even if he was known to be aggressive, because he did his job in keeping all of these girls safe. So if you're looking for what I would consider a trustworthy source, which you know is Miss Homestead Lady, number one. Number two, that's what they're doing, people. She also enjoys the Buff Orpingtons. We've talked about them before. They have a lot of great, she will tell you they're very, very similar in terms of their quality. But they just sat and said, if we had to narrow it down to one bird only, period, it's going to be this right here. We're going to show you some footage. Look it up, think it over, think about it. If you have to spend your time and money on a meat bird, go with the best of all worlds and go with one that is going to be possible in terms of reproduction and reproduction well. Hope you like this video. If you do, like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. I'm going to show you some footage so you can see everything that you'd like to know about these. Look them up. You can buy them from different hatcheries. You can buy the eggs and incubate them yourself. Once you get your flock started for this situation, they offer everything you want from that point forward, and that is self-sustainability. Y'all take care out there and hope you're having a great day. So here, guys, here is the egg right here. You've got at least a large, some of them could be pushing more into the extra large genre. Light brown eggs, very similar to the Buff Orpington, maybe a little bit lighter in color. So just to give you an idea of what these girls are laying thick here for these folks, definitely a consideration.